Tequila, welcome to the show.
Hey, Lady T Tequila, if you know my name correctly.
Oh yeah, and you're looking lovely, I might say.
Thank you so much.
As always, as always.
I try.
As always.
Yes, thank you.
You know, the men around the world really appreciate everything that the ladies do to make themselves look, fabulous, and so you do a great job. And just hats off to the ladies, keeping themselves always ready.
Well, you know what? It is a job, let me tell you.
but we assure you it's well worth it.
It's well worth it.
Well worth
of course.
it.
Of course.
But, we haven't seen you for a while. So I believe you just got back into the country. You've been on the road. Tell us about that.
Man, I went to Dubai. OMG.
Wow.
Let me tell you, you need to put it on your bucket list for real.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
And I did everything that I could do. I mean, from riding on the camel to the boat cruise. Oh my goodness. But one thing I would not do was get on that helicopter ride.
Okay.
And the hot air balloon.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't for me.
Okay.
But we went dancing. OMG. You know what? I thought because it was in Dubai, it was going to be like their kind of music. Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bruno Mars. It's, everybody. Everybody.
Yeah,
everybody
Quincy Jones has a club over there.
Yeah, and everybody dances and dresses the same because people were telling me, oh, you're going to have to dress up with everything all around your face. I said, no. That is a misconception, let me tell you.
Break it down.
Let me break it down.
There you go.
The sisters were wearing, like when I was at the pool, right?
Yeah.
I'm in a jacuzzi. They were wearing, what do you call those? That's a shame because, I don't have them. The panties that just goes like a G-string.
A thong or something?
A thong.
Okay.
Everybody had a thong. I thought I was overdressed.
Okay.
See,
well, now you know next time, right?
The whole butt. I was like, oh my God, and nobody was tripping. I was like, am I in Dubai when I was supposed to be covering up?
So they let it all hang out in Dubai, right?
Hang out. They dress just regular clothes like us. Now, there's 2 cities that they did tell me on the tour that you do have to dress in the agape, I believe it's called, dress. And other than that, but everything and anything goes.
Dubai, the Middle East.
Dubai.
Representing the Middle East. That's
I was
beautiful.
representing. I was trying to find a live band because I was going to sing.
Right.
No.
Yes.
I was going to do something.
Yes. Represent the West Coast in Dubai.
Yes, for real. I even had brought my CD.
There you go. Because a lot of people thought that you were going to be sort of doing, sort of more of a work road trip. But it's okay that a musician can just sort of let their hair down. And we don't always have to be in the spotlight, the limelight, in front of the camera. It's okay because we need some downtime too, right?
Absolutely.
But what was the scene like there? The you know what I'm saying? The music scene. Tell me about the music scene in general from what you saw. So
the music scene that I saw was mainly just the bars that they had in the club. So I didn't actually see any live entertainment. They did have karaoke, so I was going to even try to go there. But by the time I got back from the mall, it was really late, and I didn't get a chance to do any of that. But I don't know, so I didn't get a chance to see live entertainment there.
Gotcha. Okay, so it was just really just R&R. Just
R&R, and it was on my bucket list.
Okay.
For years.
Okay.
And I was afraid to go by myself. So I wound up going by myself.
There you go.
Yeah, and I met one of my other girlfriends. She was out there a day before me. So we got together and went to the mall. We went dancing and just eating. And I was eating. And I told everybody, I said, I know I done gained 10 pounds. Oh, Lord. And I said, and I don't care.
Oh, you look great. You look great, Tequila.
Thank you.
No doubt. Thank you.
It was my birthday gift to myself.
Okay.
I turned 64 years old, and I ain't ashamed to say it because I work hard and looking good, okay?
You are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you. It's hard, but I do it.
Aging very gracefully, very gracefully.
You.
All the gentlemen would agree.
Thank you.
But, where did all of those good genes come from? Tell us about your background. Where did you grow up? Are you from, the East Coast, the West Coast, the South? Where are you from?
The South, Southern Belle.
Okay.
Southern Belle, I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana.
There you go.
City, is known for the gumbo, the po' boy shrimp sandwich, seafood, you name it.
Po' boy.
Oh my God, that's what we call it.
Popeyes, the headquarters of Popeyes, right?
You better know it.
Yeah.
But there's some other restaurants that can fry that chicken just as good.
Oh, I know. Maybe even better.
Yes, I even do a good batch of fried chicken. Let me tell you, the old-fashioned way with the milk and the eggs and put it in the flour and then redo it again and drop it in that oil. Oh, yes.
Awesome. You know, I spent a little time in New Orleans back in the 80s when I did some touring, you know, all throughout the South.
Yes.
So it's been a minute. It's been a while, but I definitely spent some time there, and I had a little kind of a friend that was in Metairie, Louisiana, if you know where that is.
Metairie.
Yeah, okay, Metairie.
Yeah.
But yeah, did a lot of performing in that area, so it's wonderful. And what I found was amazing is people just keep feeding you and feeding you. It's like, I'm not hungry. No, eat. So it's like, you know, that's sort of the thing down there, right?
That's true. And you know what? We are so like family orientated in the South, because it's like, if I'm your friend and you have your family and friends out there in New Orleans, then they grasp me as their friend too, because they know you're not just going to bring anyone, you know, to their home, and they treat you like that, and that's how we do. And I have to be careful out here. When I first got out here, I learned a lesson. Okay. You know, because we always use words of endearment. Everybody is honey, sweetheart, darling. Right. And when I got here, some of the guys thought I was, you know, trying to be fresh with them. And I was like, no, I don't want you. That's just the way we do it. Yeah. You know, hello. So I'm very careful now when I say those words. Okay. We understand. We have to learn those little colloquialisms, as they say. Yes.
But I would say from a cultural standpoint, you know, African-American women from the South, or just in general, you know, in this climate, in this era that we live in, there is there's a fine line that we're learning of, I guess, having someone respectful of your image and your honor. And as we all know about the infamous Will Smith, Chris Rock slap situation, there's a lot of people in the African-American community that sort of get it and they understand, particularly African-American women. However, let me just say this. At what price? In other words, you, of course, would want your honor to be defended.
Of course.
However, there are some that argue that, okay, that's great, but at what price? Could it have been done differently? Because the image of African-American people is at stake. This is, so much is on the line here. You know, Will Packer, a legendary producer in the industry, producing the show, a predominantly African-American cast behind the scenes. There's a lot of at stake, and the image is really of paramount importance. So
very important.
So in other words, where do you draw the line between defending the Queen's honor and the image of people? What would you say?
Well, you know, when I didn't actually see it because I didn't watch it, but I saw afterwards, you know, the after fact of the news and everything. And I get it as far as when a husband wants to protect his wife. I don't know what relationship him and Chris Rock has, being on that level that they are in that Hollywood scene. You know, and I think that knowing Chris is a comedian, and if he didn't know that, you know, Miss Jada had alopecia with the hair, how would he know? So how
I believe he didn't know personally.
That's what I'm saying. How would he know? So it's obvious he didn't, because if he thought it was so sensitive, I don't think that he would have said it. And the G.I. Joe, I thought it was cute because she looked flawless. And I was like, oh, there's a G.I. Joe 2 gonna come on. Jada's gonna be hitting it because she looks good. And that's the way I took it. And then when I saw, you know, Will Smith went up there, I said, oh. So again, like everybody else, we didn't know if it was real, was it fake, was it what was it actually? But, you know, to answer the question is that I think that it could have been held, he could have dealt with it like away from the scene. Like, we'll talk about this. Yeah, we'll have a word and not, you know, but I don't know what went through with him and his wife, what sensitivity level that he was at to make him do that. Because it doesn't seem like that's him. I don't know him, but it, you know. Sure. And I agree with you. It probably could have been dealt with quite a bit differently. Even if, in other words, there were some things that were said from the audience where he was that perhaps could have been phrased differently or not said at all. And the fact that he went on the stage to do this was, you know, it was a violation of the law. But either way, it could have been definitely dealt with differently. But do you think it's going to affect having this opportunity come in the future? I don't think that it's going to affect, because this is a lesson, a true lesson that we all have seen and should learn from.
Okay.
And to know you must hold your composure, because if you at that state and you in the eyes of the world,
yes,
as an actor, a singer, a dancer, whatever, we all are human too. Now I get that, but at some point there's some type of where we have to set the example. Okay. And show the example. Absolutely. You know, like what Chris did with Poise. Okay. And you know, anybody else would have. Right. You know,
yeah. A lot of us were cringing, but we're so happy that he did keep his composure.
Yeah, so hats off to him.
Yes.
He handled that better than I could, and most of us could have done. So I think it's because of him that actually leveled it out. Yeah. Where he kept the show going, because the show must go on. Sure.
Now, showbiz. Absolutely. Now, the week after, which would be this past weekend, was the Grammys, and we noticed that the Grammys was completely different from the Oscars. There was no fireworks, there was no surprises, and it was kind of interesting how you know, Questlove referenced, you know, like, back off of me, don't get within 500 feet, etc. And and some of the jokes were, I guess, in reference to that, but everything taken in good spirit. Good spirit. So I definitely, in my opinion anyway, sort of serves as a wake-up call, right? Would you agree?
Exactly. I would agree. I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. Just looking at that, set an example to know, oh, you cannot do that. You know, and it's not about a black or white thing. It's about the respect, period, of a human being. Sure. Why would you do that in front of the world? Yeah. It wasn't like you took them backstage and boom, and nobody knew. Right. Nobody saw. You know.
Yeah. There's some that speculate that there is so many other layers that need to be peeled back, and that, you know, he may or may not need some sort of a therapy. You know, but at the end of the day, none of us are perfect. And as Denzel Washington would say, to quote him, when we are sometimes at our highest level, that is when the devil will try to step in and take you down. So we have to be cognizant of that.
You better know it.
And what a lot of people do is they put themselves purposely in uncomfortable situations so that they can deal with that sort of thing when it comes up. In other words, applying stress or duress on yourself, even in, let's say, a practice sort of situation. I'll contrast this to, let's say, a drummer. Drummers often have to be thrown into like a corner to perform. Yes. And there are some drummers that will actually practice all cramped up and still try to be lucid what they do for when they have to be under that sort of pressure in performing. And I think there should be similar measures as an actor, as a comedian, you know what I mean, as an artist of whatever your genre, to where you're not really caught off guard. Right. So on that subject, have you ever been heckled by someone in the audience? And how did you deal with it?
Okay, this is really good. This is really good. Not while I was performing. Okay. But I had a situation where we were at a party, a private party. Right. And the guy, I won't say any names, you know, brought family, his wife and a mother. And they couldn't come in. Right. And the thing about it is, if you're a musician, you should know, for weddings, private parties, you don't bring family members. And if you want to, you should ask who's ever have given a gig, hey, is it okay if I bring so-and-so, whatever, you know. But if I'm saying it's a private party, then I would think that you would know. So anyway, we got them in. But at the end, there was a miscommunication when I talked to the wife, and she thought I said one thing and the husband said another thing. And then when it was time to leave, to pack up, oh, I just went into an ugly scene. And let me tell you, I was not no Chris Rock.
Oh, wow. You let it all loose, right?
You know, first I was being professional. No, you know, I'm like, and my personal assistant, she, you know, helps me with my, my microphone stand and my bag and things like that. So she had already left and went to the car. So the girl asked me to come to the car. So I did. And so then she was saying something, and she got a little smart mouth, and I was like, what? Because I'm thinking she's going to say, hey, we had a great show, blah, blah, blah. But the moral of the story is, like, it got to the point where the mom got out the car, and she wanted to take my wig off. She said, I'll take that wig off you, snatch that wig off you. And I'm like, you don't want to do that.
Don't go there.
You know, and so the husband came, you know, the musician came and stopped it all up. But I was like, and it happened so fast because I was like shocked, like, what happened? You know, and I was trying to be nice, but then you won't try to, I'm not weak now, but I'm about peace. But Come on now.
I have my limits, right?
Yeah, let's come on now. But you know, the moral of the story, a week later they called me.
Okay.
And they apologized.
Okay.
Because they said they're Christians and that's not them. I'm Christians and I accepted it. I wasn't ugly. And I told them it's okay. I said it was just, I kept trying to tell you guys it was a miscommunication and that's all that it is. So I told them I love them with the love of the Lord. We hashed it and that was that.
Okay. Well, you know, I think as people in general, just from a universal standpoint, we all go through challenges and we go through struggles. Unfortunately, some of us, there's more of a challenge and more of a struggle because of our complexion or a lot of different things.
Yes.
And it makes it difficult. In other words, it's almost like some of us cannot get angry. So as a celebrity, we want to try to live up to that, but we're human too. But as an African American, it's even an extra layer of, okay, yes, not being able to get angry per se, yes, because of a stereotype of the angry black woman or black man or whatever. What many people don't know is that, well, you know, if you're constantly bombarded with
yes,
obstacles, criticism, being singled out for this, that, and the other, it makes it a little bit difficult. And even if you were flipped the script, would you respond? And a lot of people will say, well, yeah, I would have responded, but it's kind of a double standard. I mean, what would you say about that?
It is a double standard. And that's a price that the artists have to pay.
Right.
It's sad to say, but it's true because you put yourself in the limelight. You put yourself to set the example. There's kids that's growing up want to be like you, whether it's basketball, football, whatever. They are, and yeah, you have to be accountable. It's terrible, but again, you know, we all are human. And it's something that you said that was very important, and I need to say that because when that situation happened with me and I got to the car, me and my girlfriend, we looked at each other and we laughed. And then, no, not laugh like laughing. We laughed like, what happened?
Oh, okay.
You know, we were laughing like, oh my God. You know, and I said, I can't believe I let myself go there because usually I'm the peaceful one. Right. I'm the one that turns the cheek and say, okay, well, let me explain, you know. And it was like, wow, that's, you know, and I was really sad, you know, because we are queens. Yes. You know, and we shouldn't act like that with one another. So, especially in our age. Absolutely. It's not like we were, you know, high school, you know, and so, but. Tequila, let me ask you this regarding the idea of being queens. So we know that genetically there's a lot to that and our DNA and so forth. But from a musical standpoint, we have singers, we have vocalists, we have stylists, and we have divas. What do you consider yourself and why? Well, you know, I consider myself an entertainer. Okay. Because when I perform, I'm all about the audience and getting them involved. And I will come off the stage where I'm at and get in the crowd, give them the microphone, because I want them to have a good time. Okay. So my thing is to make sure that we bring about a peace, a joy, right, for them to have some stress relief at the moment, in that moment of time for whatever they're going through, that they can forget about those issues and just have a good time. Okay. And enjoy the music. Okay. All right. Yeah. Entertainer first. Entertainer. Entertainer. Okay. A lot of vocalists, singers, that do something similar, absolutely not identical, but similar, consider themselves to be divas. What, in your opinion, is a diva? You know, that word diva just like came about to me. Okay. You know, because it never was like in my vocabulary, like when I was a teenager, diva, you know, until we got to like with Mary J. Blige and, you know, who else I can think of? Well, so many is like in my head, you know, Yolanda Adams on the gospel end of it is a diva. A diva is to me one who has to carry herself with respect. Okay. Carry herself in a manner of where every little girl wants to be like that. Like, for instance, with Miss Whitney Houston before, you know, the drug thing and what the audience said. I'm not saying anything. That's how I saw her. It was so pure. Another artist, Sade. Right. She just looks so pure, like diva. Okay, so a diva is more to behavior, as opposed to performance. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. All right. Yeah. Wonderful. Reaching way back, though, Yes.
We know you're from the New Orleans area.
New Orleans, Louisiana. Who that say you don't beat them Saints? Who that?
How was music introduced to you per se, and why vocals? In other words, you play instruments, or where did it all start or evolve?
So it all evolved when my grandmother had, back in the day, it was called a sweet shop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, today, I don't know if you heard that saying before, but it's a restaurant. So she had a restaurant back in the day, and they had the jukebox,
Mm-hmm.
and they all played like Sam Cooke and, you know, Diana Ross, the Supremes at the time, and just the oldies, and,
Right.
you know, and my aunts and everybody, they'd always dance. So I had an uncle that was in the big band,
Okay.
and another auntie that sang gospel. And so my cousin Deke, she sings as well. She's a vocalist. And when we were 5 and 6 and 7 years old, we were in the mirror. Stop in the name of love.
All right, all right.
You know, think it over. I can remember as a little girl, think it over, you know. And it was fun. So the music came from my family.
Okay.
And back in the day too, when they had the what they would call the ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
A dance,
Right.
where you all dressed up in gowns. I mean, it was lovely. We had our gown, and we was dressed up too, little girls in our little long gowns too, and dancing with the big bands. So music was always around me with my family.
Okay.
So that's where it came from, and in church
Okay. Okay.
as well, and
Sang in
singing in the
church.
choir. Yeah,
Nice. Nice.
yeah. So and then when I got to school, you know, in elementary, junior high, high school, I was in the choir all the way up into that, and in college.
Okay.
So
Where'd you go to college?
I was singing. I went to Delgado Junior College
Okay.
in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taking a couple choir classes.
Absolutely. Well, let me tell you, we went to like a big symposium where all the different high schools were there.
Mhm.
And so the master, whoever, you know, guy that picks the different students.
Mhm.
And so we had to kind of just like get up there and do like what the jazz people do when you just say,
Scatting.
you know, and he picked me. My teacher, she gave me the eye like, you better do right. I was scared to death.
You better represent, right?
I had to represent. I was like, of all people, he would pick me. You know? But I did my little thing. Yes, I did.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Tequila, many of us have sort of speculated and wondered, but you know, make it clean, make it plain.
Yes.
Do you have sort of a native background?
Mhm.
You do? Okay, tell us a little bit about your background, a little bit of your mixture.
Yeah, well, my great uncle, not my great uncle, I'm sorry, my grandfather.
Mhm.
No, he wasn't my grandfather, he was my grandfather. He was
Okay.
Indian.
Okay.
So, and then my
Do you know what
great
tribe?
grandmother, I don't know,
Okay.
but we were trying to find out to see if we got some money.
Okay, okay. There you go. There you go.
You know, so with that being said, and then my grandmother, my great grandmother, she was like high yellow, like white,
Okay,
if you will.
okay.
You know, we were like,
It's funny how we're all different shades. You know what I mean?
well, we didn't think nothing of it because we just knew that was grandmother, you know,
Right,
my great grandmother. So again, she sang gospel too, and I always remember the song she would always sing to me when she rocks me in a chair. So
Mhm.
to this day. And so my culture is pretty much, I didn't like do a DNA to see what I'm all mixed with,
Yeah,
but there is
yeah.
Indian in us as well.
Okay, wonderful. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Notice you've got your wonderful CD here.
Yes.
This is obviously your latest release. Tell us about it. What's unique or different about this particular album?
You know what's unique and different about this is that I met this wonderful producer,
Mhm.
Mr. Bill Pittman, aka Captain Sue,
Okay.
and I had no idea what level he was on at all. You know, and when I met him, and I just said, "Oh, you know, I have a band, and maybe he's a bass player. Like, oh, and sometimes when I might need to hire you."
Oh, there we go. There we go. Where did you meet at?
We met. Well, my girlfriend Cece and I were out for the Girls Weekend Out. You know, they had that movie out, Girls Weekend Out.
Oh, yes.
So we called
yes.
ourselves, we're going to go to Ventura because she knew the band, the Victor Vega band.
Okay.
I had no idea. And I didn't bring any cards with me, nothing. We were just out to have a good time.
Was this in LA or where was this?
This was in Ventura.
Ventura. Okay.
And so when I'm on the dance floor, I kept hearing that bass, boom, boom. I was like, wow, who's on that bass? And I get off the dance floor, and then there's another guy that was really good with the saxophone. And I was like, ooh, who's on that saxophone? You know, like that. And so again, so at the end, I just happened to, I wasn't going to go say anything.
So you went into recruiting mode, right?
I wasn't in a recruiting mode. I was in to have a good time. But when he finally came down off the stage, then I just went up and I had introduced myself. And that's how I met
Okay.
Mr. Bill. Yeah,
Okay.
so he gave me one of his cards, and like maybe, I don't know, a month later, you know.
Okay.
And then we got together, and that's when I found out he was a producer and blah, blah, blah. And I had already had a CD, but it wasn't like to the standards of this one.
Oh, wonderful. And
so
that's called What You Gonna Do is the name of the album?
What You Gonna Do.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Please put that in front of the camera just for a second. There we go. Everybody check out Tequila Williams, What You Gonna Do.
We are on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. We're on cdbaby.com.
Okay.
And what else? Amazon Music as well.
Nice.
Yes.
Everybody check that out.
Check it out. Let's go viral. Help me.
Stylistically, where would you say that album sort of drops in what's out there?
You know what? Being from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I love gumbo, I call this a gumbo mix, what I have.
Okay.
Because it's not just an R&B. It's not just all blues. It's not just, you know, pop. It's one of each song I have on here.
Okay.
So I have an R&B song, a pop, a swing, a blues tune. It's very nice. I like it, and I know if it got to the correct producer, it's a #1 hit.
There you go.
I believe it.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. So
all come to pass.
All the venues and festivals out there, take note.
Take note.
Take note.
Bam.
The radio stations alike.
The radio stations, yes.
As an indie artist, what is the most difficult challenge for you?
You know, the challenge for me is actually when I'm every day I'm working on it, and I'm on the computer and I'm sending out my videos and just trying to get the people out there and the supporters and the fans that come out. And thanks to all my supporters and fans who are there for me. I love you guys. Thank you.
Beautiful.
But just to have like more coming out is, you know, it's been a challenge for that. Because, you know, in my age range, all my friends are like, child ain't coming out there. You know, they're chilling at home, but I'm like, oh,
I'll catch you at a jazz brunch or something, right?
Yeah, at the jazz brunch. Yeah, things of that nature, you know. But all in all, still worth it because it's what I love to do, and you have to love it. To do it.
Okay. All right. So the business or the marketing side is the most of a challenge for you.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm getting better at it. So.
Okay. Well, that's what we have to do now in this era. But yeah, we do have to wear a few hats, and it is probably better than not, you know, being more well-rounded, you know, seeing the other side, because for so many years people were taken advantage of on the business tip, but those days are gone.
They're gone. And I'm looking for an agent. Anyone out there? Hello.
There you go, agents. Take a note.
Look me up. Bam.
Awesome. What's the next thing you're going to be doing live? Tell us about that.
So the next show is coming up live is like this month, April, on the, that's a shame, I don't have my calendar with me.
Well, that's
but it's at Rockefeller's, and I think it's on the 15th. It's a Friday.
Okay.
Yeah,
and that is where?
That's in Corona.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, Rockefeller's in Corona.
Okay.
And I will actually put that on my social media. And then May coming up, we're going to be at where I'm going to be there, like up where I live. In Victorville.
Okay.
So we're going to be doing like a little festival thing there.
Okay, the High Desert, yeah.
Yeah, in the High Desert.
That's an annual festival.
Well, what it is like, it starts with the concerts in the park. So it's basically that.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. And what's the name of your website? So
the name of my website is on Google, and it's tequilawilliamsmusic.com.
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 Wonderful.
And on YouTube, though, it's listed under Lady T Tequila and Friends Band.
Okay.
That's where all my videos are, and my original videos are on Tequila Williams.
Awesome.
So I have 3 original videos from 3 songs that's on my CD.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, let me just ask you this, Tequila. What would you say to a young lady starting out, and she's inspired by what you're doing, how you're moving? What would you say to her as encouragement to go in the right direction?
Yes, I would tell her this is her dream. Let no one get in your way, and anyone that's not behind you, you have to drop them like a hot potato, because you have to stay focused. Believe in yourself, practice, do your vocal arrangements, you know, and get out there and get the exposure. Sometimes you're going to have to do some things and not get paid.
Okay.
I've done that before, you know, just to get the exposure, and then I would meet someone else. And along the line, that's how it goes. So I would tell her, follow her dreams, because all things are possible through Jesus Christ, who strengthens you.
Absolutely.
If you believe.
Absolutely.
So let no one steal your dream.
Absolutely. Tequila, thank you, and blessings to you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming out.
Thank you, Mr. Dante, for having me.
Absolutely, anytime.
Appreciate it.
Hope to see you soon.
Yes.